Hi, ThatPaulGuy, and today is Chelsea's birthday, which means that I really do need to get to building her computer. So, welcome to Chelsea's birthday build. Okay, so for starting out, what the deal was is quite a while back we had talked about building a computer, and we have not quite gotten on the same page. And there was things have come up, obviously, and life happens, and we talk about budget and this and that and the other thing. But where we finally are, she was able to buy the case. I have a lot of other parts sitting here, so we're going to go ahead and make this happen and take care of it, and hopefully I'll be able to give it to her the next day or two. And just make sure that we do it right, get everything going, and here is what we do. So the case that she bought is a Musetex. It's a G05MN6-HB, and all the letters and numbers just means that it's a black case. It has tempered glass on the front and on the side. It comes with 6 RGB fans. It does have a little remote so you can change the fan colors, or in this case we're going to be hooking it up to our motherboard, which is the X570 Aorus Elite from Gigabyte. This is a Wi-Fi board. It does have obviously support for AMD, and we're going to do just fine with that because the AMD processor we're going to put in is our Ryzen 3 3100. This thing is it's an awesome CPU for what it is. It's a 4-core, 8-thread. It's going to be more than enough to handle everything they got going. They're going to be playing a lot of games that are more esports title type games. She's going to be doing some video editing. It's going to work out fine for them. This is going to be great, especially paired up with the memory that we're going to use. It's going to be T-Force Vulcan Z DDR4 memory running at 3200 megatransfers per second. Going to do just fine. That 16 gig is going to be great. Again, we got providing a little bit of an upgrade path. If they want later, they can put a higher Ryzen CPU in there. They can put more memory if they want to, step up to 32 gig or whatever the case may be, and they'll be just fine. For the video card, we're going to go with ASUS's GeForce GTX 1650 Super. This is the Phoenix version of it. Other than the fact that it's the Phoenix version, there's nothing. I mean, it's a 1650 Super. It's going to do great. It's 4 gig, so all those esports titles and everything will have more than enough memory. It's going to do just fine. And again, this is going to provide an upgrade path. Why aren't we putting something more powerful? Because GPU prices are still outrageous, and when the time comes, we'll swap something out. We can do something if they choose to do that. This might be it's a very capable card, more powerful than AMD's brand new release of the RX 6500 XT, by the way. So if we're in doubt of whether this card's going to hold up, it most definitely will. Boot drive is going to be a TeamGroup SSD. It's the Mp33. It's 256 gig, and we're going to back that up with their EX2, which is a 1 terabyte SSD. That's a 2.5 inch version, but that's one of the concerns that I have with this case. It seems that the tray, or the little screw that holds that tray on for the SSD, and I'll show some B-roll here. If you tighten it down too much, it looks like it's going to interfere with the motherboard from the other side. So my solution to that is I've been able to find a couple of foam rubber pads, almost like you'd put almost like rubber feet on the bottom of a tray or something like that. I've been able to find some of those that actually came out of a box of something else that was padding for a monitor stand, and it's a perfect size to cover that area. I'm going to double it up. We're going to go ahead and cover that just for my own peace of mind, that if somebody tightens that down too much, that they're not going to go into the back of that motherboard. A couple things that are going to be an advantage for us is I've already got that motherboard setup put together, the 3100, the memory, and the Gigabyte motherboard I was testing in a previous video to see how they would work together. And since they are already together, all I have to do is go ahead and put them in that case. That case does come with 6 standoffs. I'm going to need 3 more, so I'll put those in. That shouldn't be a problem. It is set up for ATX, which means our power supply is going to work very well. We're going to be able to do all this, take care of it all, and I might show a little bit of B-roll. I might not. I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet. But what I will definitely do is after I get this done, run a couple of tests, run a couple of benchmarks, and show you guys how the setup works and show you the finished product. So away we go. So it is a couple of days later, and we've got the build all done. for the most part. There are a couple of little things that we didn't quite finish the way we were going to, but that's okay because it's a pretty simple thing to do, and I will be able to give her computer to her in a day or two, or a couple days. One of them is cables. We went ahead and opted for some cable extensions that are multicolored that will go with the rainbow effect of the unicorn RGB that are on the fans. Now that case does have several presets by tapping the button on the top front, and you can change the lighting there. I was not able to get it to sync up with the Gigabyte motherboard, and I'm not quite sure why. Before I give it to her, I might try one more time to see if I can't do that. And Gigabyte's instructions on trying to install the Android app so she can use it on her phone aren't really too clear, but we'll investigate that maybe a little bit as well, so she can change the color and all. One other thing we might also do in there, right now I've got that standard AMD cooler on the top. I might swap in my my other one that came off my 3700X, just because it has RGB, and maybe it'll look better. So I will more than likely do that, so we'll get that going. The case itself was pretty easy to build in for the most part. It didn't have grommets around the holes where the cables pass through, but that's okay because there weren't a lot of cables that had to pass through. It turned out okay like that. The tray to hold the SSD ended up not being a problem because I did use those foam rubber pads on the other side to protect, just to make sure the screw wouldn't go in too far. The case also did have an advantage where you're trying to mount the fans on the top. You could mount them closer to the back or closer to the front. There was a couple of little slides. You could also move them closer to the side panel so that you have room to put a taller motherboard like that Gigabyte is, because it has heat sinks that are fairly tall. You're able to slide that in pretty much right behind or get in between those fans, or get behind those fans, so that it's not blocking off and everything. So that was a big advantage to the case, is maybe me being able to position those fans where I needed to get the motherboard in. It did have Velcro straps on the back and a couple of cable tie places, so I could go ahead and do the wiring and make sure that was nice and clean and looked presentable. There was an area where I could tuck the rest of the cables from the power supply up underneath a little bit, so they're out of the way. And for those of you that might have been concerned or might have seen that the power supply maybe upside down, I guess you could say. It's not technically upside down, but what I did is I flipped it over so the air intake is on the top coming through the case and going out. And I did that because the advertising that's on the PSU itself is on the side that has the open part where you can see right through the front of the case what kind of power supply it is. So you either had all the stats and all the ingredients, basically what the rail voltages were and all that stuff, or you could see that it said Aresgame AGV500 on the side, which I thought looked a lot more attractive than all the information on the voltage settings. So we did it that way. There should not be any problem whatsoever with airflow or with temperatures, especially not using the products or the components that we're using in there. Temps weren't a problem at all when I was doing benchmarking. I'll kind of show you guys that here now. With a couple of games, 1080p on high settings will be great for this setup, and in some cases we're just touching that, right about kissing that 60 frames per second, so I think we're going to be great there. But all other games did fine, and they're mainly concerned with, say, esports titles and all that stuff. All those are going to run very, very well. They shouldn't have any problem getting 150 frames per second and up at 1080p on high settings, so that'll be more than enough for them, and I think they'll be very happy. AAA titles, as they come out and are a little bit more demanding, you might have to lower the settings on some, but very, very playable, and they all turned out pretty well. One other thing to mention about the case is on the front there also is two USB 2.0, one USB 3.0, separate microphone and headphone jacks, and of course the button to change the color for the RGB fans. 6 fans came with the case. They all work. They're all quiet. The colors changed pretty well, and I was very happy with that as well. So I believe that's going to work out just fine for them. Overall, I was very, very pleased with this. I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew about what I thought the performance was going to be, how I thought it might look. There is still a little bit of tweaking I'm going to go ahead and do with, say, changing out the CPU fan and putting in the extended cables. But I was very, very pleased with the way this turned out. Very happy that I was able to go ahead and build this for her and her family, and I know that they're going to love it. And so I'm just, that more than anything pleases me and makes me kind of smile and they are going to have something they can enjoy. It does have an upgrade path in several different ways, but is a very solid computer until a point where we start trying to do some upgrades. That being said, again, happy birthday, Chelsea. I'm trying to talk her into giving me like a little video when she gets everything set up. Just a video, hi, I got it, I like it, or, you know, hey, look, this messed up, or something, just kind of a little bit of feedback. If she does, I'll be glad to share that with you guys as well. If you did like the video or enjoyed what you saw or just want me to pass along anything, you know, birthday wishes or whatever, go ahead. You're welcome to do that. Throw a like on the video. Still trying to hit 500 subscribers pretty soon so I can get on some of these affiliate programs. So if you don't mind hitting that red subscribe button. If you have to give me a thumbs down, first of all, what were you thinking? This is somebody's birthday. Come on, really? But if nothing else, leave me some kind of comment so I know what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it. But that's all I got for this time. I've got some other stuff working on. I've been very, very lazy, and I've been caught up in one or two things at a time and haven't put, admittedly, have not put the effort that I should have into putting videos out, and I'm hoping to correct that soon. But until I get that done, you guys are just going to have to live with when I can get them out, and hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. That's all I have for right now. So until next time, folks, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you later.